Hi everybody, this is Stephanie. How you guys doing today? It's Sunday, September 5th. Yes, it is. It's been a marvelous day. And I have now posted a video in over a week. And I'll tell you guys all about it. But first, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers who have been very faithful to me these past 8 months. And if you're just visiting my channel, checking out my videos, if you see something that resonates with you, hit that subscribe key, but don't forget to hit that top bell so you get notifications of my future uploads. We'll come right back. All right, here we go. So, my topic today is going to be about relocating. Why do people relocate to different states or cities to live? Well, number one, it could be their job or career. It could be family related, or it could just be simply you want to look for a change. Okay, maybe different sceneries, maybe different opportunities. With me, as you know, I can't just move to any old place. Before I elaborate on my reasons that I would want to move, let me tell you that the reason why I'm in Florida, the number one reason, was because I want to live in a warm climate as I go through my transition. Yeah. So I've been here 20 years. I have relocated by using my employments over the span of 20 years. I had been working with the Home Depot for 14 years, and I relocated with them about 3 times. 2 of those times, I was in a marriage. Okay, I was in a marriage, and we used the Home Depot as a means for continued employment to the next state that we decided to live. Okay, it just so happens that things didn't work out with my marriage, so after I came out to my family, I decided to relocate to Florida and begin my transition, as it is a lot easier here in a warmer climate. For me, it was. Also, the reason why I wanted to move away from Massachusetts transition was because I'd be more comfortable transitioning around people I don't know rather than people that I do know. Can you imagine me walking down the street back in Massachusetts where I lived and grew up, bumping into people and they see me going through my transition and they just don't understand what I'm doing or what I'm going through? That could make somebody very uncomfortable, explaining to someone who's not well versed or is used to seeing transsexuals in the city. Okay, the city I was raised in was very, very small, and I knew a lot of people, and I didn't want to transition there and be explaining myself to people what I'm doing. So I decided to come to Florida. And Florida wasn't very far from my family. It's only a 4-hour flight if I decided to go visit. So my transition now has been complete. Okay. Years ago, I completed my final transition, and I was looking into moving to Palm Springs, California. Okay, Palm Springs, California is a very LGBTQ friendly city in California. Okay, I would say the whole California, except the northern cities, are the most friendly LGBT cities. Okay, I've never been to California, but I did a lot of reading on Palm Springs, and at the time, Palm Springs had a population of 50,000 people. Okay, I thought it'd be a great way to sell this home, use the funds from this, and buy in a small little place up there. So that was my plan. However, my plan took a turn for something that I didn't see coming. When I had been living here, I was living here with a gentleman that had Parkinson's disease, and we were good friends. He had very low family ties, and he was alone, and he came up to me and asked me if I wanted to sign up with the VA to assist him in his living needs. He had a hard time doing things like cooking and cleaning, drive him to the doctors and stuff like that, which were every other month or so. So anyways, we became good friends, like family, and after 7 years, he finally passed away. So for the 7 years that I had been living here, I hadn't done my plan of moving away from Florida. Okay, and to be quite honest, I have a love-hate relationship with Florida. I love it during the winters because the weather is ideal. It can be anywhere from 50s, 60s, 70s, no more than 70 degrees during the winter. But the winters here are rather short. They're almost like non-existent, because you can still have days in the winter where it can go up to 80 degrees. Less humidity, of course, but nonetheless, it goes up there. During the winter, I can say that California and Florida have similar weather conditions. If you live in Florida and you're going out and you bump into friends in the winter, you probably catch yourself saying, "Hey, isn't it nice out? California weather." So speaking of California, these days, California has changed a lot since the times that I was hoping to move out there. Financially, it would be impossible for a single person like me to go out there and actually sustain a lifestyle that I like to, taxes are high, car insurances are high, everything is high. Although Palm Springs was rather affordable and very similar with house prices that we have here, their homeowners associations are ridiculously high. Okay, so it's either I go back to my old plan of moving to Palm Springs and looking for ways for it to be successful by possibly buying a mobile home there in a really nice area, or buying a regular home and deal with a high HOA. Okay, the perils of being single. So the past several months I have been researching Oregon. But Oregon, as you know, is a sleepless place right now. With all the riots going on and the mayhem in Portland, I don't know if I feel safe there as well. Okay, and they do have a winter. Okay, a couple years ago, I bought a brand new truck. Okay, because I had intentions of possibly moving back up north to be with my family. But you know how families are. When you're away from them, they miss you and they want to see you. But when you go live there, it's like they don't want to have nothing to do with you. And excuses come up all the time why they can't do something with you. I know that firsthand. I did move back up there twice, once with my ex and once by myself. And that's the way it was. You don't hear from them, they don't call you, you call them, you get their voicemail. They're all living their lives. And that's why I decided also to come and live down here. Why should I put up with all that snow and slush and driving and skidding and sliding, all right, because I want to be closer with my family? If I really want to be with them because I miss them, I'll book a flight, go up there and spend a week, and then come back. Okay. So I'm still here in Florida after 20 years with a couple of years breakup in between when I left. So anyways, Florida is an easy place to live. There's no state taxes. All in all, there's 7 states with no state taxes. Okay, Nevada is one of them, and Texas is one of them. And I think South Carolina or North Carolina is the other 2. But I could be wrong on that. Florida is an extremely hot, humid place to live. It's a great place if you want to ride your bike because the land's flat everywhere. There's no hills. If you have a mountain bike, it's pretty much useless because hence the name mountain bike. Okay? There's no mountains in Florida. However, the further north you go, it does get hilly. All right? All the way to Tallahassee and further north. But anyway, there's a lot to do in Florida if you don't mind the humidity and the sticky clothes and the population. Population down here is steadily going up, and we're getting a lot of Californians move down here. I would say that Californians are moving a lot to states like Texas, Oregon, because when I was researching Oregon, I was reading other people's posts about Californians moving to Oregon, and they don't like it. You can't stop people from living where they want to live. I think this year I like to decide where I like to live. But no matter where you go as a single person, there are challenges. It's much difficult living by yourself if you have a certain income level. Okay? That's like an obstacle for me. Living here right now, I'm paying about $500 a month in lot rent fees. I own a double wide home here, and I spent a couple months renovating it to make it look more modern because it is old. And when I was ready to find out what I can get for this place, because I don't own the land, I'd probably take away about 60 grand, which, you know, is a nice little down payment on something else, somewhere else. So that's what it is. And my realtor that specializes in mobile home sales said to me, "It looks great." He said, as I walk on this floor, I can tell the floor is very solid and it looks modern. Okay? And he said to me, "I wouldn't put any more money into this." And you know what? I won't. So, what are some of the things that would be important to you if you decided to move to a different state? Most people, they say, well, if my family's here, I'm not going to move. Or if my family is where I could move, yes, I would go. But families are all different. With me, I like a combination of ocean and mountains, and that's why I spoke about Oregon. California has the same criteria too. There's a lot of mountains and ocean views. I love being by the water. I've been speaking with a very good friend who we're sort of like dating and getting to know one another. She's very knowledgeable of different areas, and she's very knowledgeable of friendly LGBTQ areas. And she mentioned metropolitan states and cities. I don't think I want to live in a big city. The bigger the city, the bigger the costs. We kind of mentioned Albuquerque, New Mexico. A very, very progressive city. Surrounded by interesting states. It could be a possibility. And then now again, I can use my job as a vehicle to be readily employed when I go up there to work. You know, just finding a place, spending the time to locate a place up there to live. One of the goals I had in my life was to build my dream home. Well, you know, that dream home would have cost me about $500,000, and my plan pretty much was sunk in a mud pit when I lost about $30,000 income that I had just from my Veterans Affairs gig I had going. But if things aren't meant to be, the signs will surely be there. But it's not the end of the world. So anyways, I want to hear some input from you guys, considering what are some of the important things besides employment and family that would drive you to pick up and sell your home and move away. To me right now, it's this extremely hot humidity Florida that keeps a lot of people indoors. You wouldn't be surprised driving down the street to any neighborhood and find it's empty. There's nobody walking around in any neighborhood. Okay. However, during the winters, when the snowbirds come to vacation here in Florida, traffic is heavy. It's always congested. But these days, because some states are pretty much unlivable because the cost of living there are so expensive, like Washington State and California, they're seeing those people moving out of there. Last year, over 1 million people moved out of California because it's very expensive to live. And those states, like Oregon, Washington, and California, and those cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Portland, and Seattle, the homelessness is through the roof. There are tent cities everywhere. I don't think I want to go there to live. But anyway, I'd like to hear some input from you guys concerning what's the final push that will cause you guys to pick up and go to a different state to live. If you had a job like mine that you can work in any state. Thanks. And see you guys next time.